How's it going there, everyone? It's Mr. Zen over here bringing you guys a brand new Nanatsu no Taizai chapter discussion. And for today's segment, folks, we're going to be talking about chapter 190, guys. Now, folks, this chapter was very entertaining because for the fact that we are actually introduced to brand new developments involving the 10 commandments. And yes, guys, I'm not talking about monstrosity and derriere. No, guys. The ones that we are talking about in this chapter now that we're going to be focusing on is actually Fraudulent and Greylord, guys. Yes, monstrosity and derriere are actually done. Fraudulent actually explained in the chapter at the beginning of the panels. He actually was going along and saying that, you know, their presence and power levels were gone or vanished in an instant. And I'm here thinking like, holy snap, man. Meliodas really took care of them and really in an instant that for a fact that slowly each and every one of the 10 commandments are actually being taken care of. It doesn't matter who's taking care of them. They're actually slowly being taken care of. And I'm kind of glad too. Because for that fact that, man, the 10 commandments, they're actually outliving their freaking pride now. Their freaking glory, you know. No, man. Somebody's got to step up and take care of these guys. I mean, come on. I don't want the 10 commandments to actually be keeping charge of Britannia itself, guys. I mean, come on. The 10 commandments are being they're overwhelming the whole city. But that's because, remember, the 10 commandments, I would say they weren't really necessarily together. They've been slowly been separated. But because of Meliodas' death, that's when it kind of shook them. But now that Meliodas is back on action, yes, guys, there is actually a glimmer of hope that's actually coming onto these chapters, guys. And that's what I'm actually excited to see. It's that glimmer of hope that we're all anxious to see. And we're hoping that Meliodas, when he comes to Leone's castle, he at least gets to be like, okay, you know what? These certain number of 10 commandments have been taken care of. And all they have to do is take care of at least a couple left over. Or at least have formulating a plan in order to take down a couple more, guys. Because for a fact that in this chapter, guys, we are actually involved with Merlin. Yes, guys. Merlin is finally back in action. And Merlin hasn't been showcased a lot throughout the whole entire Nanatsu no Taizai universe. So now we're kind of showcased that Merlin is going to go on the battlefield and is going to fight Greylord and Fraudulent at the same time. And the thing is, Fraudulent was actually very, very frightened at the fact that Merlin is actually alive, or I would say kicking, or being able to be in the battlefield itself, guys. Now, I, for one, thought to myself when I was reading this chapter did Merlin's body came back to life, or did Merlin figure out a way to get rid of the curse? You know, the way in order to fight the 10 commandments themselves, because the fact that, you know, the 10 commandments, their curses are pretty powerful. I mean, those curses are everlasting, and they keep going on until they freaking die, or as long as the commandments are alive. I mean, sometimes the commandments the curse still stays on even if the person is dead. That's why I'm just like, holy snap, you know, what are we going to be seeing here, guys? But the thing is, guys, what I'm interested in now also at the fact is that Greylord was shown in this one. The thou shalt not die commandment. Holy snap, guys. This is actually very, very difficult. Because for a fact that this character, and I swear to God, it's overpowered. Greylord is seriously overpowered. And that's due to the fact that when you look at Greylord, all the people that are in the Leone's castle, they have no chance of winning. They are stuck in a predicament that they don't know what else to do. See, now, if Merlin comes onto the scene, yes, that would give them a small glimmer of hope. And also, Bond was in the chapter as well. But slowly and surely, Bond hasn't really been doing much at stake or been helping out a lot. You know, to me, Bond seems like he's a human now. You know, I mean, sure, his immortality is pretty powerful, but so far, guys, his immortality isn't really necessarily helping out. Maybe when he's going to fight against another commandment, it'll help out. But so far, Bond hasn't really taken care of any of the commandments themselves, guys. Which I thought to myself, it's like, what's going on with Bond? Is he only able to take down one? You know, it's hilarious. But with Bond, maybe with Bond, we'll get to shed some light with him, maybe in another chapter or another commandment. But for right now, Fraudulent and Greylord, it isn't his cup of tea in this chapter, because for a fact that we're also showcased with Greylord, and Greylord was actually shown to be able to produce gray and red demons, guys. Yes, guys, and this is actually very insightful for the fact that where we're actually looking at that these gray and red demons are actually created from living souls of humans themselves. Jericho was trapped in, and Bond was kind of like, he was a little frustrated the fact that he can't do nothing about it, for a fact that, like I said, Grey Lord's overpowered freaking 10 commandment, thou shalt not die, will not let him do anything, because for a fact that one of the Azure Skies knights defeated one of the gray and red demons, but he died because of the commandment, thou shalt not die. So basically, if somebody tries to kill one of these red or gray demons in the fight while Grey Lord is around, you're gonna die regardlessly. So it's like all the people inside the Leonis castle facing Grey Lord and Fraudulent, they are stuck in a predicament that they can't get out of. And that's what's kind of frustrating. So that's what I'm thinking, like, maybe with Merlin around, we're actually going to be showcased, like I said, some light on hand, and shown that Merlin may have actually found a way to counter the curse. Because think about it, for a fact that, how can you defeat Grey Lord's thou shalt not die? You can't just turn away and say, I'm not going to fight Grey Lord, because the fact that you got Fraudulent around. You got Fraudulent to actually worry about. So what can you do? What I personally think is that in order to trap Grey Lord, you might actually have to trap him in purgatory, or create a curse on him, freeze him in an everlasting, I would say, ice spell. Like, that's the way that for Grey Lord to be taken care of. That, like, you cannot kill Grey Lord itself. I seriously think you can't kill Grey Lord. You're supposed to seal this character. That's what you're basically supposed to do. It kind of reminds me of that Yu Yu Hakusho one episode where Kurama was facing off going against the Toguro brothers, where this person had like immortality, and in order to defeat it, you know, they had to basically keep it trapped in purgatory like throughout the whole entire time. It kind of reminds me of that kind of similar scene with Grey Lord. Like, there's no way you can defeat Grey Lord. You have to seal it in some sort of way where it has to be eternally banished somewhere without its body dying. While its body's still intact, but it's sealed off, that it can't even move or defend itself. That's the way that I'm thinking that they have to defeat Grey Lord. Maybe, and that's where Merlin's gonna come around, and that's where I think Merlin's gonna be able to do that, guys. That's my theory on how Grey Lord should be defeated. With Fraudulent, I don't know how. I don't think Fraudulent has explained a lot about his commandment. His is still iffy. I'm not quite too sure if I remember it too. Maybe he'll show it in the next chapter, so we'll actually get to see more of that. But I'm still excited as to see what Merlin's capable to do. I mean, just looking at the dialogue that was showcased by Fraudulent, he was actually scared as to what kind of monstrous magical power who's housing this in the freaking chapter. And freaking Merlin just goes up with a smirky ass attitude. Oh, you mean this little old magic trick? What are you talking about? Like, as if saying whoa, Merlin actually has more tricks up her sleeve, noticing that we are probably going to get to witness some more tricks up of Merlin itself. That's why I'm kind of interested in what Merlin might have to do. And also, maybe Escanor is going to come in, and he's not going to necessarily kill. Maybe, like I said, with Escanor as well, he necessarily can't kill anybody. So basically, he could come in also and use his power of the sun and just radiate so much heat that could also kill Grey Lord itself. Because if there's so much heat involved, then, you know, that demon could die off of extreme temperatures of heat, you know, without him touching. So basically, that's death by natural cause. See, it's stuff like that. Thou shalt not die by the hands of someone else. That's what I'm assuming with the 10 Commandments, you know, like curse. That's what I'm assuming. If not, that the Grey Lord has like a super powerful commandment that no one can literally defeat. That's the way I'm thinking. If no one can defeat it, that thing's hacks. That thing's hacks, guys. I'm sorry. It just won't make any sense if no one can really defeat that. But that's my opinion on how they might defeat it, though. Now, I'm kind of curious to wonder if Jericho will turn out to be a demon. Will Bond have to kill that demon? That's the thing that I'm kind of worried about too. You know, so far they've shown Jericho with Bond lovey-dovey, not necessarily lovey-dovey scenes, more so or less, you know, they're kind of trying to kindle a friendship going on with these two. So I'm hoping that Bond can rescue Jericho. Let's hope that Jericho doesn't die, because the fact that Nakaba does surprises every time in each chapter, and we don't know who will die or who will live. Nakaba, like I said, he just throws. He throws right there. He throws those curves, man. And that's what I love about Nanatsu no Taizai, is the fact that he actually does all that stuff together, guys. And that's what I freaking love, guys. But that's it for today's chapter, guys. You know, that's all my thoughts on Grey Lord himself. And, you know, and that's what basically most of the chapter kind of focused on, was the fact that Fraudulent and Grey Lord were involved. That's basically it, and what they can do, and showing the predicament and suspense that's going to happen in the Leone's castle, and what Meliodas will have to confront when he gets to Leone's castle, guys. But that, like I said, that's it for today's segment, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed it. That's all that I have to think for today for this segment. Of course, I have plenty more ideas coming soon. But if you guys enjoy my content, don't forget to give a like, comment, share, and subscribe, guys. But as always, guys, have a wonderful day. But this is Mr. Zen, signing out.